Hello everyone, I'm Michelle Smith and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then welcome. I'm so happy you found me. I have a Dollar Tree St. Patrick's Day DIY for you today. In today's crafting adventure, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this beautiful St. Patrick's Day wreath. All of the materials that I used to make this wreath came from Dollar Tree. Let me show you how to make it. For today's project, you're going to need one of these Clover Wreath forms that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. You're also going to need several packages of the decorative nautical rope. Now they have several different kinds and several different widths to choose from. The one that I found is 9.5 feet and it is relatively slender. I do have 6 packages. I'm hoping that it's only going to take about 4, but I wanted to make sure I didn't run out. I will let you know at the end how many I used. We're going to wrap right around the 2 bars here, all the way around the inside of this wreath. I think that will look very pretty, and then we're going to add all our ribbon on the outside. So to get started, open up your rope. I want to start right here above the stem where the crossbar is. So I'm going to turn it over so I can glue it to the back. And I'm just going to use the bar right here to help me. Get my first piece on here. The rope is also taped at the end, so you want to leave that on. That will help it not fray at the end and come apart on you while you're working on it. For your convenience, in the description box below is a detailed list of all the tools and materials I used to make this St. Patrick's Day wreath. Okay, so I am gluing it all the way around the center here where the crossbar is. That's how I'm going to initially attach my rope. And then I'm going to slowly work my way and just loop it around these 2 inner bars. My glue has set up and it's fully secure now. So I'm just going to start wrapping it. Anytime there's a curve or a bend, you can use a little dab of hot glue to help it from sliding and to make sure that it lays in the correct position. You just want to take your time with this and get it to lay down properly. Now you can use whatever rope you have. You just want to make sure that it's pliable enough that you can bend it to get it where you want. If it's too stiff, it'll be very difficult for you to get a nice tight wrap. Now every once in a while, you're going to need to wrap just 1 bar instead of both of them. And that'll be whenever you come around curves. And also coming off a bend here. So this next one, I'm just going to wrap around the top bar. And then the next one I'll wrap around both. If you enjoy hauls, crafts, and learning new craft techniques, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do upload new content every week. And if you hit the notification bell, YouTube will let you know every time I upload new content. And like I said, use glue to keep it nice and tight. Okay, through this area, I can just wrap singly. And then once I get to the bar here, I'll wrap around twice and then wrap around the outer bar once and then both and the outer bar. I'll show you that once I get to that point. But for here, you just need to continue to wrap it around both bars. I have the straight section done. I think it looks really nice. Now I have hit the curve and I have started to do a single wrap around just this center bar right here, and then wrap around this bar and this inner bar. So I just wrapped around both of the bars, so this time I'm going to wrap around just the inner bar, the one that's in the middle. This will help me to get an even coverage around the curves. Okay, see, so I just wrapped this inner bar, and now I'll wrap both bars. But you see it fills in. If you try to wrap both bars all the way around, you'll get a lot of bunching under here and it won't lay smooth. So that's why you need to do both bars, the center bar, both bars, the center bar, both bars, the center bar, all the way around the curve. When they start lining up straight again, you can wrap both bars continually until you hit another curve. I have the center 2 wires on my frame fully wrapped with the rope. Now it took 5 packages of the 9.5 feet rope to wrap the center. I do have a good amount of the 5th package left over. After 4 packages, I had about that much space I still needed to cover. So you will need 5 packages at 9.5 feet of rope to cover the center of your clover. Go ahead and set this aside. We're going to work on the ribbon now. I have chosen this really pretty ribbon that I found at Dollar Tree this year. It has a faux burlap background, some bright green trim, and then light and dark clovers on it. I thought it was very festive. And then I also found this one, which is a solid dark green. It is sheer. And both of the rolls are their standard 2.5 inches at 9 feet or 3 yards. You want to cut your ribbon at 6 inches, both the patterned and the plain. And then you also want to dovetail them. To dovetail, simply fold it in half the long way and then fold it in half again. And then I usually start about a 1/2 inch up in the center and cut down to the point. That gives me a very nice, even dovetail on both ends. You'll want to do that to both of your ribbon. We're going to start with our pattern ribbon today. This is how we're going to be folding our ribbon. It's very simple. You take your ribbon, you scrunch it into the center, pinch, and then you bring both sides up so that they're even, just like that. And then I add just a teeny bit of hot glue right in the center of the fold to hold it together. And then that way you can also fluff and open up your ribbon a little bit more. So it looks like that. On your frame, you'll want to turn it over to the back. We're going to be attaching these on the back. Now you want to make sure that the nice side of your ribbon is facing down, since we're gluing this onto the back. And I'm going to start here in the center, and I'm going to work my way around. So on the front of the ribbon, the nice side, add a small amount of hot glue, and then you're going to glue it right to the back of your rope. So again, on the front, at the base where it's folded, add a small amount of hot glue, and then evenly place it around the base here, but you're going to glue it to the back of the rope. You want to make sure that glue fully sets up. See, when you turn it over, you'll be able to see it. Once the glue is set up, then you can pull it through where the rope is and the outer bar. You just grab that ribbon and push it up through the two bars to pull it to the front. And then you can open up and fluff your ribbon. So they need to be close enough that you fill in and that it will cover this outer bar. Okay? But your first goal is to get them glued onto the back, get that glue set up, and then pull them forward so that you can see them. I have all my clover ribbon on. I'm very happy with the result. Now here on the back you can see that I glued it right onto the rope. I pulled it through where the rope wrapped wire is and the outer wire. That way, in the front, you don't see that outer wire. So I'm really happy with that. I'm now starting to attach the light green. And this one we're going to be attaching to the outer wire. And we're going to be attaching it in a different manner. So you just take your piece. You want to slip it under that outer wire. Pull it together so that you get it even. Scrunch it together. And then right on the wire, add a small amount of hot glue. And then pull them together and pull them down in the direction you want them to go. Be very careful. This ribbon is very sheer, so the hot glue does come right through, so you only need a small amount to keep it attached to the wire. I'll show you one more time. Take your ribbon, slide it underneath that outer bar, pull the two ends together to find the middle, pull it together and kind of scrunch it, and then right on the bar add a small amount of hot glue. And then pull them back together and down in the direction. Doesn't that look pretty? So you have your rope, you have your pattern, and then you have your solid green. I'm going to go ahead and finish adding all of my solid green, and then we'll come back and work on the stem. I have all of my green ribbon on. I'm really happy with the result. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the stem here, and I've decided that I'm going to wrap it in the rope. Now I'm going to start here at the bottom, and I'm going to glue the rope on the back here, but right on this bottom wire. I'm just going to kind of lay it on top of the rope and then add my hot glue. You want to get this first piece nice and secure before you move forward. Let that glue fully set up. Otherwise, you'll have problems wrapping your stem. I'm wrapping the stem around, and I found it's much easier if you also not only add some glue to the metal frame, but that you glue it to the rope below it. So just run a light bead of glue all the way down, put your rope down, and then push it into the glue. You do have to hold it there for a little bit until it sets, but you'll get a nice finish. And as long as you don't add too much glue, the glue won't seep through. I have my stem fully wrapped, and I'm very happy with how my base turned out. Now this is the back. I didn't go all the way up, but I went far enough up that the ribbon in the front covers the top of the stem. So to recap, it took 5 packages of the rope to wrap the inside and to do the stem. Each package was 9.5 feet in length. It took 4 rolls of the patterned ribbon and 5 rolls of the green ribbon to go around the outside and to do the bow. Now you need to decide how you want to hang it. I decided that I want it to hang a little off center where the stem is at the bottom. So right here across from the stem at an angle, I added a piece of pipe cleaner in a loop. This is what I'm going to use to hang it. And I did glue ribbon on either side of it so you can't see it from the front. Go ahead and set this aside. When cutting your ribbon, you will want to measure out a piece of the clover ribbon at 13 inches. You want to cut this first and set it aside. This is going to be for the bow. And you will need a piece of the green ribbon cut at 30 inches. Cut both of these pieces first before you start cutting your 6-inch pieces of ribbon. We're going to work on our bow now. You're going to need a pipe cleaner and then the 2 pieces of ribbon, your pattern ribbon that is cut at 13 inches, and then the green ribbon which is cut at 30 inches. Fold your pattern ribbon in half. And then fold it in half the other way. From the inside, cut out. I usually only come up about 1/2 inch. Go to the other side and do the same thing. Just make sure everything is lined up. Come down about 1/2 inch and cut to the point. That'll give you 2 pieces of ribbon. Set that aside. Take your other piece, fold that in half, find the center. Then you want to take one side, bring it to the center, and make a loop. Then take the other side, bring it to the back and make a loop. You want them about the same size, not too big. Usually fold it up and see if they're even. Okay. Scrunch it down in the center. And pinch. And then take one of the patterns, scrunch that down in the center. Place that on top. Do the same thing with the other. Take your pipe cleaner and wrap it around the center and pull it to the back. I always push everything down so I can get a good grip. Pinch right at the base and give a good twist. Okay. Leave the pipe cleaners on. That's what you're going to use to attach it. Then open it up. Take your pattern ribbon, split them. So one goes one way, the other tail goes the other. Same thing on the other side. Open them up so you can see what's there. pull your other green tails down. Just grab where they come out, pinch and twist to pull them in the direction you want them to go. I like to hold right in the center as I work with my bow, and then open up the green. You want the tails to pull to either side and the green loop in the center. So that's how it's going to look. Now I'm going to trim the ends here and dovetail them. Simply fold them together. You can pull both of them together if you want to make sure your tails are all the same length. There you go. Set that aside. Now we're going to make a jute cord bow. And I'm just going to use the width of my hand. So I place the end down and hold it with my thumb there, and then just lightly start to wrap around my forefingers. I kind of open up my fingers if I want it a little bit larger. Wrap it around about 10 times and then have it end on the opposite side. Take it off and pinch it in the center. Cut another piece, I don't know, 6 inches. Wrap that around the center. You want to wrap each side around a couple times and then tie it nice and tight in the middle. So it looks like that. And you just kind of separate those loops a little bit. And you want to do that again. Loosely wrap. But this time you're going to grab the center. You're going to tie it just one side. Okay? And then across from where you tied it, you're going to cut it. Then this piece you're going to tie to the back of your bow. These are going to be your tails. And just adjust it a little bit. You want to make sure that's in the back so you don't see it from the front. Once you get that in place, just add a little bit of hot glue to the back there to make sure everything stays where it's supposed to be, because you don't want to see that bundle of the tails from the front. Just want to see the bottom there. So it looks like that. Very cute. If you need to, you can put a little bit of glue on both sides. And then just pull your tails down and look at the length. If anything's a little too long, like that one's a little too long, just trim it so they look the way you want. Very cute. So we're going to take our twine bow and we're going to attach this right on top. So we have a 3-layered bow. So right over where the pipe cleaner is, add some hot glue and place your twine bow. So we're going to place the bow now. And I want to place my bow right about here. And I'm just going to take my pipe cleaners and I'm going to wrap it around the rope area here and tie it off in the back. So just move the ribbon over, feed your pipe cleaner to the back. Pull it to the back there and just give it a twist. Once you get it exactly where you want, you can fully secure it. I think that looks cute. I think the bow looks absolutely adorable and suits this wreath perfectly. Now here on the back, I just twisted it down, trimmed off the excess, and then glued down the ends so that there wasn't any sharpness there. I'm really happy with the way that looks, but I have one more thing that I want to add for that perfect final touch. You will need 2 shamrocks out of this package of 6. They come on a skewer like this. You will want to cut 2 of the stems shorter so that you have about 4 to 5 inches of stem. And then you're going to add hot glue and we're going to place it back behind the bow. You can either stick it into parts of the bow or stick it in behind and glue it onto the rope. So just add a small amount of hot glue onto the end. And there you go, we are all done. Well, I'm very pleased with the end result for this wreath. I tried something a little different. I put the pattern ribbon on the inside and the solid ribbon on the outside, and I think it came out absolutely adorable. I'm very pleased with wrapping both the inside rings and the stem with the rope. I think it makes the clover shape really stand out. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and show me some love in the comments. This really does help support my channel. It lets YouTube know that I have content that's worth watching, and then they show it to more people and my channel grows. Thanks again for stopping by. You know it's always a pleasure to see you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please consider doing so. I do upload new content every week. Thanks again for stopping by. You have a great day, and I will see you next time.